Information Office. 2018 is the 15th anniversary of China-ASEAN Strategic Partnership. In September, we will be holding the 15th China-ASEAN Exposition and China-ASEAN Business and Investment Summit. And today, we are glad to have Ms. Gao Yan, Vice Minister of MOFCOM, Vice Chairman of China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, Mr. Chen Zhou, and Mr. Huang Weijing, the member of the Standing Committee and Secretary General of the CPC Guangxi Committee, to take your questions. First of all, we will give the floor to Ms. Gao Yan. Dear friends from the media, good afternoon. Thank you for your support for the commerce work in China. First of all, I would like to give you some updates for the cooperation between China and ASEAN countries. This year is the 15th anniversary of China-ASEAN Strategic Partnership. In the past 15 years, under the leadership between the leaders of the both countries, we have achieved remarkable results. First of all, we see a big increase in the trade volume. In 2017, the trade volume has reached 510 trillion RMB, which is 6 times bigger than 2013. And the ASEAN countries has contributed 1/8 of the total amount for the trade in China. And the ASEAN countries has been the third biggest trade partner for China for 7 consecutive years. There is an 18.9% increase year over year from January to May in 2018. And we also see a big investment on outcome. The total investment amount is over 20 billion US dollars. And we also see an increased investment amount from China enterprises to the ASEAN countries. And the scope of the investment has been expanded to electrics, water supplies, and other infrastructure industries. China has been setting up over 4,000 FDI companies in ASEAN countries. Over 300,000 local employees were taken by Chinese enterprises. ASEAN countries are the priority for the Belt and Road initiatives. China has been working diligently with Singapore, Myanmar, Laos, and also China has reached bilateral cooperation agreement with a number of ASEAN countries. Fourth, we continue to move forward the regional integration. We have set up the free trade zone in ASEAN countries in 2011, and we further to develop this cooperation of RCEP in 2015. And China will continue to show support to the ASEAN countries for the RCEP negotiation. The wish is to reach agreement as soon as possible. Both sides has placed great emphasis in the Mekong River Economic Zone. And China will work with the ASEAN countries to promote the integration of regional cooperation. Next, I would like to give you some updates on the preparation for the China-ASEAN Expo. China-ASEAN Expo will help to boost the cooperation between China and ASEAN countries. This will be jointly hosted by the member states of the ASEAN countries and the ASEAN Secretariat. This has been covered a lot of regions of cooperation. The export will bring real benefits to the business communities of China, and as well as the ASEAN countries. The 15th China-ASEAN Exposition will be contributed to build out the Maritime Silk Road, and this event will be hosted between September the 12th to September the 15th. And this export will continue to enhance the dialogue between China and ASEAN countries and move the cooperation between the two sides to a new height. And this will also drive the development and the cooperation between the two sides. Ladies and gentlemen, China would like to work with the ASEAN countries and make full use of the platform that was proposed by the China-ASEAN Exposition. We will continue to make contribution to build a shared community between China and ASEAN countries. I would like to invite friends from the press to attend the China-ASEAN Exposition, and thank you for your long-term support. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Gao's introduction. Next, we would like to invite Vice Chairman Chen Zhou to give us an introduction. Good afternoon. First of all, I feel very glad to attend this press conference together with Ms. Gao Yan and Mr. Huang Weijing. I would like to give you some update on the preparation for the China-ASEAN Business and Investment Summit. This investment summit is jointly hosted by MOFCOM, CCPIT, as well as the Guangxi-Zhang Autonomous Region. With several years of development, this summit serves as an important platform to boost the economic cooperation between China and ASEAN countries. And this year, from September the 12th and September the 15th, we will be hosting the 15th China-ASEAN Business and Investment Summit. The theme of this summit is to further build the Maritime Silk Road and further the cooperation between China and ASEAN countries in the area of innovation. And this year is the 15th anniversary of China-ASEAN Strategic Partnership. Except for the achievement exhibition, this summit will continue to upgrade the previous brands and add new impetus to the activities. And we will have a roundtable discussion between the country of honor and the state leaders of other countries. And Cambodia is the country of honor of this year. And the purpose is to allow Chinese enterprises better understand the requirements of investment in Cambodia. Second, we are also holding a business leader forum during the Business and Investment Summit. We will invite business leaders to attend this forum. The topic will be discussed the real economy integration. This forum will release the Nanning Declaration, and also we will issue a Nanning Trade Facilitation Report. And we will also host the first Belt and Road Forum during the Investment Summit. So the theme of this Business and Investment Summit is an open and innovative ASEAN region. We will also invite global leaders to discuss the impact of the ASEAN countries of the world. We will also set up a committee to serve the Business and Investment Summit. We will also hold the youth forum during the summit. We will invite representatives from new technologies, for example, in the area of AI, internet development, and new material and resources. And we will also be releasing the Belt and Road Youth Declaration in Nanning. And also, we will be hosting the cross-border forum. We will upgrade the cross-border products, and the thing will be built out a online maritime. The purpose is to build a cross-border transaction between China and the ASEAN countries. And also, we will be holding a legal forum. By that time, we will invite representatives of legal areas from China and ASEAN countries. And we will release a series of reports in order to build out the legal committee, which will help serve the entrepreneurs from China and ASEAN countries. So these are all the sideline events that was happening for the Business and Investment Summit. We will invite representatives to review the achievements that we have gained in the past 15 years and point out the future direction. And also, we will have a award ceremony happening during the Investment Summit. So we will be giving award to the outstanding performers in the past 15 years. So the purpose is to further promote the cooperation between China and ASEAN countries. So the CCPIT will continue to work with MOFCOM and the Guangxi Zhejiang Autonomous Region in order to further implement the achievements that we have achieved in the past 15 years. And we would like to make our own share to build out a shared community for China and ASEAN countries. Please stay tuned for our latest development. Thank you. Next, let's invite Mr. Huang Weijing to give us some updates. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, on behalf of the Guangxi Zhejiang Autonomous Region, I would like to extend my gratitude to all of you. And this year is the 15th anniversary of China-ASEAN Strategic Partnership. In the past 15 years, China has been working closely to the ASEAN countries. And the China-ASEAN Expo has played a key role in boosting the strategic cooperation between China and ASEAN countries. And in the past 14 sections, we have over 2,900 representatives who are at the ministerial level attending the Expo. All of these events has bring closer the tie between China and ASEAN countries. And the Expo has been also helping to boost the trade facilitation between the two sides. And China has also achieved remarkable results with the ASEAN countries in the area of economic cooperation, as well as the industrial capacity cooperation. And there were a large number of clients and vendors and exhibitors attending the exposition. there were over 200 business forums happening under the framework of China-ASEAN Exposition. This will also help to accelerate the implementation of projects. And the Expo will be held in September the 12th to September the 15th. There were several features for this year's exposition. And this year, the theme is innovation. And the theme is to build a 21st century maritime Silk Road. And we will also host a series of forums to discuss the industrial capacity cooperation between China and ASEAN countries. We will also show the trajectory for the China and ASEAN strategic partnership. We will also be hosting the memorial events. For example, the 15th anniversary achievement exhibition between China and ASEAN countries. All of these events will showcase the achievement that we have made in the 15th years. China will showcase more green products and high-tech products in the China-ASEAN Exposition. And we also adding more projects in the artificial intelligence. So technology is the priority for China to work with the ASEAN countries in the future. And we will also have a Belt and Road International Pavilion setting up during the Expo. All of these forums will help foreign countries work with China and start their business in China. And we will also continue our initiatives to further build the Belt and Road Initiative. A lot of policies will be released, and also we will show some development in the logistics, foreign investments, and the build out of the South Corridor. At the same time, we will also invite provinces that are engaged in this initiative, business forums, meetings, project coordination meetings, tourism forum will also be hosted by the time. All of these events will help the leaders and representatives to work with others and formulate a project plan. And we also will be holding a celebration event for the 15th anniversary of China-ASEAN Strategic Partnership. And a think tank discussion will be held between China and ASEAN countries. Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Ecological Development, and Ministry of Agriculture will also host a series of relevant forums to discuss the relations between China and ASEAN countries. Dear friends from the media, the country of honor of this time's Expo is Cambodia, and Tanzania will be the special guest for the 15th China-ASEAN Exposition. And all of the preparation are conducted smoothly right now. With the support of MOFCOM and the CCPIT, we have the confidence to successfully host the 15th China-ASEAN Exposition. At this time, I would like to invite all of you to attend the China-ASEAN Exposition in Guangxi Province. Thank you. Now we come to the Q&A section. This is from CMG CCTV. And we have noted that in April, President Xi has stated that we should continue to open up during his speech in the Boao Forum for Asia. So I want to understand what are some of the initiatives that will be taken to further open up the cooperation between China and ASEAN countries. And this year is the 40th anniversary of China's reform and opening up. China has continued to integrate itself to the global economy. China has been making tremendous contribution to its own economy as well as the global economy. China will prioritize the economic cooperation with ASEAN countries. In the BFA of this year, President Xi has clearly stated that China will continue to open up and deepening our reform and to uphold a mutually beneficial cooperation. President Xi has said that we should ease the market access and create a more attractive investment environment and protect the IPR and increase the imports. All of these actions will bring new opportunities for the cooperation between China and ASEAN countries. So China will continue to deepen our cooperation with ASEAN countries. First of all, we will continue to move forward for the Belt and Road Initiative. We would like to work closely with ASEAN countries and we would like to share our achievements with the ASEAN countries and move the cooperation between the two sides to the new high. Second, China will continue to implement connectivity initiative with the ASEAN countries. A joint declaration was released earlier on the connectivity in infrastructure between China and ASEAN countries. China is highly complement with the economy of ASEAN countries, and we would like to continue to form a capacity cooperation with ASEAN countries. China has premium products that can suit the needs of the ASEAN countries. And China will work with ASEAN countries and release a joint declaration on the capacity cooperation. And we will offer a better logistics, industrial and value chain with the ASEAN countries. Fourth, we will make full use of the China-ASEAN Exposition and the China-ASEAN Business and Investment Summit. We would like to take more imports from the ASEAN countries. We wish the companies that are attending the China-ASEAN Expo can bring more competitive products and technologies to China. And China will also like to share our achievements from the reform and opening up. Thank you. Any comments to add from the Guangxi Autonomous Region? Thank you. This is from China Daily. My question is to Mr. Chen Zhou. And this year is the 15th China-ASEAN Exposition. So on the 15th anniversary, what are some highlights for this exposition? So this year is the 15th China-ASEAN Exposition. Each time when it is a 5th year, we will have some special arrangements for the exposition. And this year we have 3 features for this expo. First, we put high emphasis on the innovation. And innovation is the top priority for this year. And we also released an upgraded plan for the export. That is a 2018 to 2022 plan. This we will upgrade the innovation for the China-ASEAN Exposition. So we have taken different measures to set up a more open platform so that we can better meet the needs of the exhibitors. And the second, we have taken solid steps to upgrade the brand of our products. And we have also worked towards the mechanism of the China-ASEAN Exposition. We want to make the China-ASEAN Exposition an example for other forums and expositions. And we also made some adjustments for the organization of the China-ASEAN Exposition. And also we made a lot of new efforts in improving the government enterprises cooperation. As I have just mentioned, we have started a series of sidelined events during the period of the Business and Investment Summit. This shows the upgrade of the China-ASEAN Exposition. Hopefully, we can gain some remarkable results from these sideline events. And also, we would like to hold some memorial events. For example, this year we will host the Achievement Exhibition and the award ceremony for outstanding performance. So all of this is to recap the past and look into the future. And we would like to make our efforts to consolidate our achievements and also upgrade the brands. And we will have a lot of roundtable discussions happening during the period of the summit. So all of these events was well received by the government of China as well as the government of the ASEAN countries. Hopefully this year we will have a more successful event. This is from Economic Daily. My question is to Mr. Huang. Can you give us some introduction about the sideline events for the country of honor? It is the second time for Cambodia to be the country of honor for China-ASEAN Exposition. China has maintained a good relation with Cambodia, and this year is the 60-year anniversary for the establishment of diplomatic ties between China and Cambodia. And the high-level leaders of the Cambodia will also meet the senior leaders of China. And during the summit, we will have a specialized forum just for Cambodia. And Cambodia will also host an artistic performance. And in March, the China-ASEAN Exposition has been hosting an exhibition in Cambodia in March. So it is the largest scale of the exhibition that was held by China-ASEAN Exposition in other countries. And we also receive a lot of achievements during the exhibition held in Cambodia in March. This is from Hong Kong Radio. My question is to Vice Minister of MOFCOM. Now we have seen a trade war between China and the US. Will this have any impact to China's cooperation with ASEAN countries in order to offset the losses that will be caused by the China-US trade fission? And also, can you give us some highlights, like in which area that we will have a better cooperation with the ASEAN countries? For the economic cooperation between China and ASEAN countries is the priority of Chinese government. With the BRI, ASEAN countries are the favorable partner for China. China is the biggest trade partner with ASEAN countries, and also ASEAN countries is the second import market for China. And last year, the trade volume between China and ASEAN countries has reached $514 billion US. You can see this trade volume is very large and it will never decrease. And we have a $271.2 billion US of export to the ASEAN countries. And we also have a faster increase of the imports compared to the export. And in May, the trade volume has been grew by 18.9% compared to that of last year, meaning that this year the trade cooperation between China and ASEAN countries has maintained a positive momentum. And China has constantly receiving larger imports from the ASEAN countries. And China is also the most favorable trade partner for Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia. As of May, the bilateral trade volume has reached over $200 billion US. And for Chinese companies who invest in the ASEAN countries, this figure has reached $86 billion US. And in May, the investment from China to ASEAN countries has reached $4.17 billion US, which also enjoy a two-digit growth year over year. And for January to May, the additional investment amount has increased by $2.94 billion US. And also the ASEAN countries, it is the largest overseas labor market for China. In May, the overseas contract value has already reached $363.9 billion. And in 2017, the contract value is only $70.9 billion. And this year, we have enjoyed a over 20% increase. And from January to May, the new contracted value has reached $11.5 billion. And there were over 200,000 labor services has been worked in the ASEAN countries from China. All of these figures shows fruitful achievement between the cooperation of China and ASEAN countries. And this year we will be holding the 15th China-ASEAN Exposition. By taking this opportunity, we will continue to further our cooperation with the ASEAN countries. And the purpose is to bring mutual benefits to China as well as the ASEAN countries.
谢谢主持人，中新社记者提问，想请高部长介绍一下 RCEP 谈判的最新进展，谢谢。
China News Service. My question is to the Vice Minister Gao. I want to understand the latest development of the RCEP negotiation. China stayed committed to the negotiation of the RCEP. China has been actively engaged in multilateral dialogue and moved the regional cooperation. Per request of the first negotiation meeting happened in last November, China has actively moved forward the negotiation of the RCEP. In a Japan ministerial level forum with the global challenge, all of the ministers has reached consensus that we should accelerate the negotiation of the RCEP. Currently, the negotiation has went smoothly, and all the parties has shown positive attitude towards the negotiation. China will continue to respect the position of the ASEAN countries during the negotiation of the RCEP. With the spirit of the RCEP, we would like to reach an mutually beneficial agreement. This is from my Hong Kong commercial television station. My question is to Vice Minister of MOFCOM. So my question is that will the China-US trade friction have an influence on the economic cooperation between China and ASEAN countries? For the cooperation between China and ASEAN countries, I have just made a detailed explanation. For the US-China trade friction, spokesperson from MOFCOM have stated our position for many times. And we also state our attitude and stance to the public on many occasions. So please review the statement that has been made by MOFCOM and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And also, there were over 10 commentaries that has been written in China Daily. So please refer to those articles. If there's no further questions, that's the end of the press conference. Thank you.